What's going on, guys? Back for another quick trade recap video. So as you guys can probably tell, we are back on evals. I rinsed the 50k fundeds. We were getting emails about getting moved to live, so I upped risk, and after taking the payout, my buffer was pretty small because I tilted the first day, and then the second day buffer was pretty small. And I'm still risking heavy because I'm not trying to get moved to live. But yeah, so here's the trades we took today. So now we have 5 Top Step X 50k combines and 5 My Funded Future combines. And as you can see, we made about $500 across. It's a little bit different. 515, 490. I'm using TradeSyncer to do cross-platform copy trading. So I got that set up yesterday. I think this honestly might deliver to 930 highs. Only thing against us is I think ES already took everything. Oh, but we have crazy SMT down here. I'm probably done though. I know it's an eval, so technically I could trade. Wouldn't be too much reasoning in terms of money-wise. We're 75 ticks away from all-time highs, but let's just get into it. So these are the 2 trades I took. This one smashed, this one was wicked out break even, and we'll probably end up hitting. We were 5 points away. Oh no, 2.5 points. Okay, 2.5 points away from hitting, but I'll probably run it right now. We were just targeting 930 highs. So my thought process coming into today, we had data lows right here. I'll mark that out. Data lows, and then we had a bunch of the previous session lows right here, just stacked, right? So intermediate lows inside a 5-minute PD array right here. So dropping back to the 1 minute, that was our target. 9:30 we come up, sweep all these highs with SMT. So we enter basically top ticket. We were, let's see, like 3 points in drawdown, and it immediately dumped. So this 10-point stop, and when you get a reaction like this, I was like basically break even already then at that point, because I mean we dumped. Great reaction on the 1 minute, and I mean I don't see there being a reason to come up 50 ticks again and resweep this high. So we got a nice reaction. I got a sneeze. Okay, so that just banged. Damn. Oh gosh. All right. Back to the video. Okay, so yep, super simple 930 PO3 with a data low and intermediate lows for our draw and liquidity. Obviously it smashed. It was a pretty good trade. Thought process here was because of that 5 minute, and we had SMT at the lows. We took out data lows, so I was thinking we might have been able to see a reversal. I would have loved to see these lows because it would have been a $1,500 day, meaning I would only need 1 more day to pass the accounts. But you know, I didn't want to risk it, and I told the Discord. I was basically live in my Discord following along. I showed them every trade I took, and I told them I closed 3 at data low and left 2 runners, and I was going to leave the runners for these lows. But then I was like flipping through the time frames, and I saw the 5 minute, and I was like, okay, we just took out liquidity inside a PD array with SMT. Those are all confluences I would use to enter long, so let me get out of this position. And what did I do? End up flipping long, and I mean it worked out, but break even by a wick by a couple points. Yeah, 18 ticks. If I would have just left my stop at the swing low, we would have been fine. But you win some, you lose some. In fact, I believe I had my stop trailed here for a while. But then once we got up into the 5 minute gap right here, that's where I went completely break even and protect myself. I mean, I was already up across all 10 accounts. I was up 5K, technically speaking, right? I know they're evals, but technically speaking, if these are all funded, $5,000 across all because I'm up 500. So while I thought this would work out, I wanted to protect myself, and in order to do that, if we hit a bearish PD array, I want to see us go straight through it. I don't want to see us tap it and come all the way back down and potentially sweep lows. So break even. I'm cool with it. Didn't re-enter, didn't tilt or anything. Super happy with that. I'm gonna take these slow. I'm in no rush. If you guys have seen any of my previous videos, I'm up 15K in the first week and a half of September. And then over the last 2 months, I've secured just under 20K in payouts. So I'm in no rush really. Obviously, I would love to still have all my Express accounts, but that's completely my fault. I take responsibility for that, but I know it's a repeatable process. I've done it before. I can do it again. So I've actually had one account. My first payout was for one singular Express account. Got a payout on that, blew it. Then with that payout, I bought 5 combines, 5 Top Step combines, passed those in 2 days, and then ended up getting 3 payouts on those 5 accounts, for a total of like 3,600 something and some change. So it's a very repeatable process. I mean, one payout on one account, blew it, had to restart from scratch, passed 5 more accounts, and secured 3,600 through 3 separate payouts across those accounts. So that means 15 days of 200 plus. So it's very repeatable. And now when I do it, I'm gonna have 10 accounts. So my funded futures account, I chose to do the core accounts. So the only thing about that is there's a payout cap of $1,000 per request, which I don't really mind. $5,000 is $5,000 because I have the 5 accounts. But with that being said, I'm gonna have all my Top Step accounts too. So all I need is to get $2,000 in a balance, and it's a 10K payout. Whereas before, I needed a $4,000 balance. So you can just tell, dude, it's so amazing what you can do when you up your capital rather than upping your risk. And by that, I mean like going from micros to minis. Like, you might get lucky or you might be good enough to do that, but it's just so much easier buying more accounts. Because, like, I can use my same exact risk and I can trade even less. And, like, I don't need to go for huge plays to secure that 10K payout because I need $2,000. And realistically, on those 5 accounts that I had before, my average was like 700 to 800 per trade. And, like, only in the first week and a half, I had 2 days that were 200. And the rest were like 600 plus, 700 plus. I had like 2 $900 days, stuff like that. So my average is right around like 700 to 800. And now I need 5 days of 200 plus. So even if I do 700 twice and then 3 days of 200, which has never been the case, but let's say I do that, that's still a $10,000 payout across all 10 accounts. So that's awesome what you can do if you're super smart, follow your rules, and just up your capital. I tried, Take Profit Trader. I passed the account, got funded, ended up risking super heavy on that one. That was my plan with it, because I only bought one account with them because it was 40% off and no activation fee. So I bought one account, and my goal was to just, if I was going to tilt, or if PA wasn't too clear, I was just gonna just trade on that account and leave my Top Step Express accounts that I had 2 days ago or yesterday. And so I ended up blowing that. I didn't really care. I didn't really have a goal in mind for that, especially because they had intraday drawdown. I simply bought it just to try to full port it basically. So I probably won't purchase from them again. Either Apex, I don't like the intraday, so I'm probably gonna stick with Top Step, my funded futures, and I'll probably get into Alpha Capital at some point. I know like there's 0 accounts I've heard like are crazy rule wise and whatnot, so I'll definitely take a look at that. But for now, I'm gonna focus on these 10 accounts, and maybe once we rinse these accounts and get a couple payouts, then when we restart, we can add Alpha into our arsenal. And then I'm not sure. I think you can have 3 accounts with them. 3 accounts, and I think there's also a payout cap for that. I think it's 1,500. But I mean, like I said, $1,500 across 3 accounts, 4,500 per week. I'm not sure. I think their 0 accounts are based on $200 days or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a consistency. I could be completely wrong. I've never used them before, and I haven't really looked into that. But let's say it is 4,500, right? So 1,500. So that means we would build our other accounts to $3,000, $3,000 buffer. That means I'm getting 7,500 from Top Step X. I'm getting 5K from my funded futures because that's the max that I could is $1,000. Just looking at what's going on with the charts right now. So that's 12,500, and then another 4,500 from Alpha. So I mean we're over 15K in one payout, over 15K. Only building to a $3,000 buffer, which I've done like 4 or 5 times. So I mean that sounds awesome to me. That means, and I could do that once a month. Imagine I do that once a month, I'd be good. That's over 15,000. I mean, obviously I would want it to be more, but say social media starts to take off a little bit, I make a little money from that. Like, I'm a full-time college student, so $16,000 a month is pretty good to me, and I know I can do more than that. So imagine just doing it twice a month, let's say. I've already got 2 payouts in the first week and a half of September, so imagine I get 2 payouts of 15,000. That's 30K a month. Absolutely ridiculous as a full-time college student, but I'm trying to be way more active. I'm gonna be super locked in, follow all my rules. I'm gonna make sure if PA is not doing what I want it to do, if it's not clear, if it's super choppy, I'm staying out of the market. Simple as that. That's my biggest downfall, and that's why I lose. This was such a clear play. This was pretty clear, and it played out perfectly. Slightly more risky, but at the same time, not really. I mean, my first play was more clear to me, for sure. Where that's this, right? Yeah. First play was much more clean. Wait, I think I'm tripping. No, no. Dang, it's already almost 11. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, I don't want to drag this video on too much longer. It's already a pretty long video, 12 minutes. But yeah, these are 2 plays for the day. Up 5,000. We'll jump back into it Monday. This week was pretty rough PA wise. Today was, in my opinion, one of the cleaner ones. Yesterday there was one play that I took. I posted a TikTok about it, but it wasn't YouTube worthy really because it was just my funded futures accounts. So I didn't even have my Top Step accounts yet. So now at least I have all 10 to talk about. But yeah, enough talking. I'll catch you guys Monday. Peace.